Hey everybody, this is Roll Hunter here. I've got dimes and they've been really hot. Can we keep up this streak? Stay tuned to find out. Hey everybody, this is James and you're watching my channel Roll Hunter, and we've got a whole box of dimes here. Now these dimes came from a couple of different banks at different times. I put them all in the box here. You've probably seen this box before. I had initialed it. I was going to send it back to the bank and I wanted to be sure I knew this is a box I'd hunted. I ended up keeping the box because sometimes I just get a bundle or two of dimes from a bank and have to kind of wait a little bit before I can get 50 rolls together to do a hunt. So these are all customer wrapped rolls. So when I go to the bank, I always ask for customer wrapped because I don't want the alloy recovery program rolls. We won't find any silver. We won't find anything old. Even nickel composed dimes, we won't find those. So it doesn't make for much of a fun hunt. But what we can find if we get customer wrapped, we might get a collection dump. We might get colorized. We might get silver. You never know. Now what I've noticed here is that if you can see these rolls at the top here seem to be overstuffed. We'll do a little bit of a count, but if I pull out that roll and compare it to this roll, it looks like it might have 5 or 6 extra dimes. So we'll see that. I'll do a count to find out what we got going on for those ones. Otherwise, I don't really see anything on the ends here, and I actually don't know which branches and banks these actually came from. I just put them all in the box until I've got enough to do a hunt. I suspect that these 6 rolls that all look to be overstuffed all came from the same customer. I don't know if they were counting or what they were doing, but we won't know what's in these until we get cracking. So let's do that. So here is that first roll. The first thing I always do is do a little bit of an edge check to see, do I see anything with a bit of a different color? There's a couple different colors. There's a copper edge there. That's going to be United States dime. We see lots of those. There's one here that looks like it's a little bit different, but I think it's just a normal variation. It doesn't look silver necessarily. But I'll give this a quick count and see if we're over our $5 that we're expected to have in a roll. Okay, well, I stacked them up. There is $5, 10 in each of these 5 stacks, and we did have 6 extra dimes. So we're going to be up, and probably similarly with these other rolls. So we're already in the profit. That's awesome. So our US dime is just going to be a 1989 Denver. And as I said earlier, we can expect to find a lot of US dimes here in Canada in our rolls. They just get wrapped up. I have found some silver US dimes. I found at least 2 in dime rolls. I've even found one that was pretty tarnished in a roll of pennies. And I can put a link to that video up here as well. But this is just going to be a standard run. I'm just going to roll this up. I've got a friend who will buy all of my US coins because he'll take them down to the States and spend them. And in exchange, I buy all his silver finds, which is really cool. So it works out well for both of us. So we haven't found anything crazy after the first 4 rolls, and I've got them already wrapped up and ready to go to the bank. I roll them up as I'm hunting, except for a couple of Americans. But we are actually up $1.40 after just 4 rolls, which is highly unusual because usually we're actually short by the time we go through a whole box. People just don't count, or sometimes they do count and they deliberately put a smaller number in there. But in this case, I'm not sure what was going on, but we got an extra $1.40 so far. We're doing pretty well. Roll number 5, and we're going to have our first chance to look for silver. We got a 1968 here. We want to see if it's magnetic or not, and it is. So we know it's made of magnetic nickel and not silver. But it's a transition year, and some of the dimes from 1968 are made of 50% silver, and you want to check every single one. You don't want one of those to slip through your hands, for sure. Same roll, and this should just demonstrate how filthy coins can really be. You want to wash your hands often, and sometimes you just don't want to touch them at all. Roll number 6 is going to be one of these see-through plastic rolls. These are great because they give you a bit of a sneak peek about what you're going to find in here. In this case, we know that we're going to get a couple of Americans in here. We can see that copper edge, but we're going to get a foreign. I can see right here by my thumb, another reeded edge that looks a little bit different. The reading is smaller and tighter. So let's find out what we got. It's something. It's not Canadian and it's not American. Let's see what it is. Well, I've got this laid down and we can see we've got this edge that is a little bit different. That reading is not Canadian. We have found us an East Caribbean states. It's another coin with a boat, but it's not the Blue Nose schooner. It's 10 cents And this one, Queen Elizabeth II, and the date will be on this side. Ah, there it is. It's a 1966, pardon me, a 1986, I should say. It's not going to be silver, but we can find out what it's composed of by checking out the Numista website. So I pulled up Numista and we can see here that this is copper nickel, so that's great. There it is, our 1986. And if I scroll down on the page, we can find out that 86 doesn't actually give us the mintage numbers. Usually the mintage numbers will be here, but some countries don't publish that information, and so it can't really be verified. But you can see that even in uncirculated, it's worth about $1.20, so it's not rare by any stretch, but definitely a cool find in our Canadian dime roll. Roll number 10, and I've got a couple of double date Bluenose schooner designs that you can find. They're much the same. The main difference, of course, are the dates. On the left, we've got from 1992. This is celebrating 125 years of Confederation, which happened, of course, in 1867. And on the right, we've got a 2021, which is celebrating 100 years since the Bluenose schooner, that boat that is pictured on the dime, was constructed in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. It was a famed racing boat, and so it's been on the dime for many, many years. And there is a replica, the Bluenose 2, that you can actually see. The Bluenose is no longer with us, but the Bluenose 2, which is a replica of the Bluenose, you could still see sailing in some Canadian harbors. We are in roll 13, which is another one of those overstuffed rolls. And not only is it going to be overstuffed, but I think it's going to keep our silver streak going. I just flipped a coin out of the way to reveal this obverse, and it has that white look of silver. We'll flip it over, and absolutely, we've got a 1967 with the mackerel on it. This could be either 50% or 80% silver, but either way, we're going to take it because we've got silver in the box, and we just paid 10 cents for it, and that's awesome. Roll 14, here is another double date dime that is commemorating Confederation. This one doesn't have the Bluenose, of course. It has a bird with a stylized maple leaf there as its wings. It's called the Wings of Peace. It's from 2017, so this is celebrating 150 years of Confederation, and this one happens to be in really beautiful shape. This is roll number 18, and we've got a dark copper edge. That is definitely an American, but we've got another one that's a little suspect. It's just a couple away from it. It's so hard to tell. You can see the coloring is different. It could just be a dirty coin, but it looks like it might be an older edge and possibly silver. It's not bright. It's this one right here I'm looking at, 2 away from that copper edge. But it just looks interesting enough. And like I can see another one here that's a little bit brighter, but I think this is like an 80s coin. So the only way to find out, of course, is to dig into this roll and find out what we got going on. Okay, we got that open, and I didn't even see the other end here. We have a US dime ender, and it's just a 1980. But we want to look back here and see what is going on with these other edges. So there is the one that I saw that I thought looked suspect, and I think you can see it's just got some discoloration. I don't think this is silver. It's just a 1980 with some kind of a toning or something on it, which made it look a little bit different. And then our US one here is a 2000p. So we're not going to be left totally empty-handed with that roll 18, because check this out. We have the Bluenose undersail, and I love, love, love that design. Roll number 20, I just flipped it over and found a splash of color. We got the 2021 Bluenose undersail with the color enamel showing the water. Really neat. Roll 24, and we're going to have our second non-color Bluenose undersail. I've just opened up roll number 27, and I think silver is going to strike again. I've got an edge right by my thumb that looks older, and I figured we'd take a look together and see what we might have here. It just looks more worn, and I'm just trying to get it if I can. And it is too. Look at that. It is a laureate portrait. It's 80% silver. Let's flip it over. And it's in the 50s, 1956. That is an awesome find. Silver in the box, silver number 2. Roll 28 is going to give us our third non-color Bluenose, and there's a little bit of a strange edge up here. Not sure what's going on, and it looks like it's just going to be a dime that's been tampered with. Again, somebody got the snippers to it, just had a little too much time. It's a 2000. Nothing special, but somebody was just defacing it, that's all. Roll 34, and I found a non-color blue nose here. I wasn't even planning on recording it, but in the same roll, we got our second colorized, so we're doing pretty well with the blue nose. I've pulled out roll number 39, and I don't think we're done with silver yet. I think we've got a silver coin right here. It just has that older, darker edge about it. And I don't think there's anything else. Again, there's more color variation. Some of those 80s and 90s ones look lighter, but I don't think that's it. I think we've got old silver right by my thumbnail there. So let's see if we can crack into this roll. There's no tape on it, which is good. These ones are often taped. And let's see if we do, in fact, have older silver. And we are not going to have older silver. We got fooled. It's a 1977. You can see that edge. It's just got some kind of environmental damage. And that's the problem with trying to guess, is that you can often be wrong. And that's why you got to check them all. You got to look closely and be certain, because sometimes you just get fooled. Roll 45, and I'm surprised that we're still finding these blue nose under sale in the quantities that we are. This is actually our 7th for the box. This is a beautiful coin. We've got a couple of the colorized ones as well. So they're still out there. You can still find them. Beautiful coins. Roll number 45 has all sorts of interesting edges. And if we only had one, I might be thinking it's possible we could have some silver. But I think this just might be a roll of dirty coins. And we'll find out in just a moment if that's the case. So definitely some dirty coins. This first one, this is the second one in the roll, definitely looks like it's been stuck in something. So it had a darker edge because it is a copper clad cent here, or cent, dime. So it makes the edge look a little bit darker and dirtier, but it's clearly a dirty coin. And I think that's what we might find in the rest of this, but I'll go through and we'll see if we find anything at all. Well, we looked through that full roll and that's all it was, just a bunch of dirty coins and dirty edges to just have us fooled into thinking we might have had something old in there. Roll 47, I see a little bit of blue peeking out. We're going to have our third colorized blue nose dime of the box. Very cool. And same roll, the non-color version, that's number 8 for the hunt. And still going just a little bit further back, that's number 9. Well, we are all the way into roll number 50, and I don't see any interesting edges here. So it doesn't look like we're going to get silver, but we didn't get skunked, that's for sure. We got 2 in this box so far, and we'll have a look at everything. We got one more roll to get through. Okay, that's the end of that hunt. We have hunted 50 rolls of customer wrapped dimes. And for those of you who are keeping score at home, you'll recall earlier on in the hunt, we were actually up by $1.40. We had 14 extra dimes because we had some overstuffed rolls. I didn't give you an update on the other ones that we encountered, but we have one wrapper here that is left to be filled. I've got 49 that I've already rolled up with our discards. They're sitting on the floor ready to get taken back to the bank. And here we actually have 72 coins. That means that we actually ended up with 22 extra dimes. So $2.20 we've already profited. Not to mention the fact that we found some cool stuff, including silver. So we did really, really well today. It usually doesn't go that well. So let's take a closer look at what we got. We actually got 31 US dimes. That's probably par for the course. We got that 1986 East Caribbean 10 cents, which is really cool. And in the miscellaneous, this is going back, but just a snipped coin that somebody took the clippers to. We found some nice ones here. I picked up a pile of 2022s. I'm just going to take the best of those. I'm pretty sure I have one, but I'll just confirm in my binder that I have a really nice one. We found some in here. We got a really nice 2017 Wings of Peace. We are still finding those commemorative blue nose. We got 10. We ended up with 10 of the blue nose under sale, non-color, and we got 3 of the colorized ones. Our best finds, of course, you can never complain when you find silver in the box, both a little bit tarnished. We got a 1967 that is either 50% or 80% silver, but that 1956 beside it is a no-doubter. Laureate portrait, Queen Elizabeth II, 80% Canadian silver in the box. So our silver streak is carrying on. That is 3 of the last 4 boxes. Now we got a couple of great boxes with 8 silver each, but I will never complain when I get 2 silver in a box of dimes, because my expectation is always that we get none. And that's what you should probably expect. Most boxes just won't. But we've been doing really, really well with these boxes lately. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. That's a really helpful thing to do for the channel. It gets my videos in front of more people. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do that right now. You'll be alerted when I've got new content coming out. I have new videos coming out all the time. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next time.